Hello everyone, and welcome to this weekly reading. This is for the week of August 25th of 2019. I do apologize that I've been away from doing these weekly readings, but it's important to me that I get back to these on a regular basis because as a channeler, as a messenger, which for some reason I feel called to do these, and I receive as much, if not more, than anyone who listens to this video. So I've really missed doing them, but life has kind of gotten in the way, and I'm starting a new journey with those who may not know, my cancer cells are popping up again. So on Monday I start my infusion therapy, and off we go. My theme song is Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones. So here we go, and what I found last time when I went through this is the messages become like deeper, is what I want to say, because I have such a sense of my body when I'm going through any kind of a physical treatment. And that's important for this week's message, because instead of a Sabian symbol to help guide our messages this week, I wanted to use the purity that is the sign of Virgo. So we will be in Virgo from today, or sorry, not today, yesterday, the 23rd of August through the 22nd of September. And I felt like this purity is the guidance for this first week we're going to be spending in this Virgo energy. Virgo is an earth sign. It is the second in the lineup of three earth signs when we look at the calendar year. Taurus being first, Virgo is in this yummy place in the middle, and then we have Capricorn. And you can think about those signs. There's three in each of the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And you can kind of think about it like anybody on a journey. The first of the signs within an element, this is my understanding of this, is very new and fresh, and there is a kind of a young spirit to it, not inexperienced. It is a young, fresh look at whatever that element represents, and the sign brings that energy to it. And then the middle is kind of the most, it is really the purity of that element. It is in its most pure state, just like when I look at an astrological chart. And if you have a planet, let's say at the beginning of a sign, like at 2 degrees of Pisces, let's say, versus 15 degrees, somewhere around there, versus like 27 degrees of Pisces, those are very different points, and they have meaning. And these elemental positions of the signs also follow that. So I know the middle, and also the 15 to about 17 degree point. There's 30 degrees in each sign. That 15 to 17 is sort of, consider it like a tulip, is the image that I was shown. And it's the base of the tulip. It's really easy, pure energy. It is, so Virgo represents as the middle of the earth signs. It is this purity of earth. And Virgo, its meanings, as I've come to work with Virgo, it's very perfecting. That is the first thing I'll say, of course, off the top for Virgo energy. It loves to have its details in order. It likes to have a plan. But it's known as the Virgin. It's just purity, and it's also integrity. It really, really cares about doing a really good job, being thorough. It's all of us have Virgo energy somewhere within our astrological chart. And this is it's luscious because of its purity, because it can't lie if it tries. It's like the worst liar you've ever seen. It's just got truth written all over it. And that's part of, I have a friend who jokes that I always say, oh, this sign is my favorite and that sign is my favorite, is because they all are my favorite. And I revisit them each time this comes up. And this piece of Virgo that I just love is the integrity and is the pureness of spirit. It is just the essence of who we are as living beings here who are truly trying to do the very best that we can. And that is kind of the basis, what I see as the highest vibe place of Virgo. And in it being an earth sign, that is about the here and now. It's about, how you make money. It's about how you keep your house. It's about how you go about doing your work on this planet. And again, bring the word integrity and a perfecting nature, not to the point of being perfectionist, which is like that goes off the charts a little bit, which every sign can kind of go into this really obtuse place or really shut down place. That's always a possibility. But I'm talking about the perfection that is Virgo, the truest essence of it at its highest vibe state, which is about really caring. You really give a shit about your life. You really care about the details and think about the integrity of how you hold yourself in this world and how maybe you are, meticulous in keeping your checkbook just so. Or, you like to keep the floors and the countertops in your house picked up. Or it really gives you pleasure to clean out a closet or reorganize a cabinet or go after your pantry and throw out all the stuff that's expired. That is Virgo kind of energy. It wants to clean it up. And as somebody going into cancer treatment on Monday, I am loving this energy. It is perfect timing. Always. Always. So what the cards are going to represent is what is the gift that Virgo wants to offer you over this time that you're going to be spending together. This is the primary energy that we're all working with through September 22nd. And what is kind of this shining light that is based in integrity and based in bringing this sort of fine craftsmanship to your life, of really caring, of looking at the little details, of cleaning it up, It's not a time for messiness and chaos, and Virgo doesn't do well in that. It wants to bring simplicity and an order and kind of a plan to things. And that always feels really satisfying. Every time we shift into a new sign, there is tremendous satisfaction in that energy because we're really coming out of kind of the opposite energy every time we shift into a new sign by design. That is very much by design, that we're shifting into something that now we're really ready to go gangbusters into that new energy. So with that, I'm going to get into the pick a card, okay? So you saw at the beginning of the video, like I normally do, I put up the cards so you can select 1, 2, or all 3 cards. Maybe you want to listen to all 3. That's all good too. So again, the message here is, what is this kind of primary message that Virgo really wants to show you through the Virgo season, which ends on September 22nd? So the first card up is from the Andarian Crystal Oracle deck, and this is kind of the crystal up close. All right, and this is Andarian Solar Fire. Holy smokes, baby. So you've got a mix for you of earth and fire together, and they are not natural companions. Earth and water go together, and fire and air go together. So to me, what this represents, without me even reading the card, is I immediately get this sense that you're really working from 2 bases. During Virgo season, take the best of what Virgo can offer in terms of bringing a little bit of perfecting to your life, really showing the universe that I care about this. I want to bring my integrity to this. I want to raise it up a notch. I want to kick it up a notch. Just select a part of life that you really want to look at. And then the key is with fire energy, which you have combined with Virgo. This is about bringing your action to it. So when you get an inspiration to, I don't know, bring a higher integrity to something, to clean it up, that phrase keeps wanting to come through, to clean up a part of life. And also it's important, the word simplicity, to maybe get a little bit more simple and down to the basics on something. And this doesn't need to be a sweeping, your whole life and every part of it. It can just be a component of it. And then as you identify what that is, and the challenge will be to stay focused on that area of life or project, whatever it is that you determine, then bring your inspired action to it. Go after what comes to you like, okay, I've identified this area of life or this project. What is step one? And just work with it step by step. You can sit down and kind of just quickly get all your thoughts out on paper of what all the steps could be. What are the resources that are available? Who are the people who could help you or give you wisdom around that? And just make a quick list. But then you start with one step. And then just be aware of what then transpires. Like what is another, what is the next, you'll do step one, and then what then inspires you to go on to step two. But to stay as present as you can. And the reason I'm stumbling a little bit is as I was just doing this for you, a bird totally rammed into one of our garage windows. We have a screen there, and I think the screen is totally blown open. The bird just went boom, and the sun's not shining on it, so that's interesting. It must have, but the message is there for you. I always take notice of this because that's not a everyday happening that you see that. So be aware though of not, I feel like I want to say, just watch getting too bullheaded. And Virgo energy can get bullheaded, like, this is my idea and I'm going to do this and you're not going to get in my way and I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it and this is the plan and these are the steps I have to take. You can't ramrod yourself. You have to take it step by step. That's why I was stumbling on the words, because I'm like, oh, okay. You take step one, you see what happens, you see what shows up for you, then you take step two. And remember this sort of virgin energy that is Virgo. This is bringing a new perspective to something. This is bringing a new approach to something. And you're just going to have to be really present and in each step. Okay? So all of that, before I've even read what's on the card, you have a lot of, it's like what I'm being shown is gunpowder. There is a serious blasting effect that can happen in this Virgo season when you combine your fire, your natural fire element with the energy of Virgo. So Andarian solar fire says, allow me to remove all obstacles and barriers that are blocking you from succeeding. I bring you gifts of empowerment, vitality, clarity, and courage. Move forward fearlessly and dare to own your infinite abundance, which is your birthright, so you may fulfill your life mission. I erase the illusion of separation, bringing oneness and feelings of deep connection with all sentient beings, the earth, and all life of the earth. Work with me to anchor the solar light into Mother Earth for healing and to awaken the masses. And I get it, even as I was reading it, it sounds like a tall order. But again, keeping in mind what Virgo is all about, you can keep it simple and you can stay in this one holy moment. And you have an idea, You know you want to focus on your integrity. You know you want to focus on cleaning something up. You know you want to focus on maybe getting your, and I say this, house in order. It's, if you look at an astrological chart, there's 12 houses. I've been calling them gateways lately. Your house is not just your physical house, it's the whole of your life. And you can consider the different parts of your life that make up that whole, which is what this card was pointing to. Just select one. Just select one. Because I feel like with as much firepower as I feel for you, that you might want to be like, ba-bam, and I want to just do it all, and I want a clean sweep, and I just want to clear the decks, and just, you can really use the firepower that's available to you if you just keep it simple and stay focused and stay in the moment and take step one. I do think it's important that you spend time with whatever this is for you, a project or an area of life, and just blah, 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 blah. Do a brain jump. Everything that you want to fix about that, or how you want to go about the project, and all of your ideas, and the ideas for resources, wisdom, helpers, money, any of it. Just blah, 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 blah. That's a part of the exercise. Get it out. Get it out. Because Virgo season is about, okay, and now we focus. Now I decide this is going to be step one. And I'm going to see what happens, and I'm going to see what shows up, and I'm going to keep my eye on the prize of what that project or area of life, what the purity of it is. What is the purity you're looking to bring to it, okay? The second card is from the Fairy Forest deck. This deck's been coming up a lot in my readings. And this is the Wild Hunt, number 9. Beautiful card. She's all bedazzled in all these sort of diamond-like energies, which contain within them the rainbow energy, which is the full spectrum of not only our chakra system, but just energy in general, is the combination of all of those, not just individual pieces, colors, chakras. It is the combination of them all. And the Wild Hunt says these words: excitement, frenzy, journey. And again, the 9 energy in numerology has to do with kind of a culmination point. It kind of is the top of your game. You've gone all the way from 1 up to 9 in the numerological cycle, and then you're about to start a new cycle. So there's like an epiphany that's available to you in Virgo season, I feel, that allows you to go into the wild with eyes wide open, is the message I'm getting. When I was mentioning about the rainbow of colors, it's like, when we have the perspective of being able to step back and to take it all in, again, eyes wide open, and to see. Virgo's really good at being able to discern that there could be multiple truths occurring at once. Maybe there is not a singular point of focus. It is much more about the overall perspective, is what I'm getting. And that the more you do that kind of, that step back motion, okay, this is the info I'm getting, the more you do that and go back on your back foot and just kind of take it in from a broader perspective. Virgo, when it's in kind of a, I don't really want to use these words, but I was saying before, an obtuse or a really shut down energy, and you can think of angles, when an angle just expands, or when it gets really tight and almost becomes just a singular line. That is not the full use of Virgo. You want to be like a tulip that's got the two ends like this, and you're filling the tulip up with all the wisdom, okay? That's when Virgo, that's when any sign is in its very best. And so Virgo, when it's really in one of those blown out or shut down phases, wants to get very specific and like, okay, so tell me, what is the truth? I only want the truth. And like it wants to get down to the brass tacks. It just wants just the facts, ma'am. You know, just da, 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 da. It can be very pinpointy. And that's where that word perfectionist comes from. It's a tendency to want to like just go to one way of being, one way of looking at the world, one particular perspective of looking at something. And I feel like the wild hunt, and hunt is an important word here, because you know you've evolved to a new place when you just consider it a constant journey. You're never really done. And the Virgo part of you, there's a part wherever that is in your chart that goes, oh, because Virgo wants to have an answer. It wants to have a destination. But wildlife is really working with me. There is a hawk that is flying right over as I'm doing your reading. And I don't see them very often here. Beautiful, at just sailing. And it's higher perspective that's wanted for you. So during Virgo season, sort of the golden delight that you can look to as the gift of Virgo season for you is the ability to always have a higher perspective. I challenge you to kind of use the highest vibe of Virgo is to get the purity of something by getting up above it. When you think purity, when you think of, let's stick with that word, purity. It isn't about having your feet in the muck. It isn't about getting yourself all dirty down in the mud. That isn't the message. That's not the purity. It is very earthy and it's very grounding. But think about the purity that the hawk sees as it looks out over this beautiful view of greenery, and it sees blue sky all around it. And it doesn't see all the detail. It's like when you're in a plane and all you can see is the patchwork quilt that is the countryside and the beautiful mountain ranges. And that's when you see the purples and the blues and all of these colors pop out because you're at a higher perspective. So I would actually encourage you to just not watch out for getting too detailed. That's always a caution with Virgo time. Getting too caught up on the details. If you feel yourself being pulled in that direction, the wild hunt and this 9, which that's your energy. 9. It's where this Virgo is taking you. It's to a culmination point. It is to being more evolved. It is to having a higher perspective. And to know that you're never really, like the hawk doesn't reach its destination and stay there forevermore. It might get to where it's going and get what it needs, and then it flies again. And it allows the wind to carry it. So really just watch for getting too caught up in the details, too caught up in the muck, because that isn't the gift of Virgo for you. The gift of Virgo is in seeing the purity of all that can be in a situation and not trying to nail it all down and to have a particular end point. It is about the wild hunt. It is about the possibility of seeing the entire rainbow, not just exploring the yellow or the purple, So higher perspective. And just beautiful to see wildlife working with me on this reading. All right, the last card is from Mystics. God, what's the name of it? Messages from Messages from the Mystic Grove, I think is what this is called. And I do love this deck because I love the artwork is very vibrant. And you have Counsel. And this is number 18, which in numerology reduces to 9 when we add those digits. And so the last card had 9, and so do you. This is, during Virgo, is a time for you to culminate on something, to really come to a new, evolved state, and to not be in this, oh my God, I gotta figure this out, and oh my God, and trying to like be so worried about having a plan or behaving in a certain way or having everything just right and just so tidy. I feel wise elder with you. This, like, think about your favorite grandparent or an elder figure in your life from now or from the past. And they generally have this feeling of calm and ease and grace about them. You show up at your grandma's and she is just snapping beans, string beans on the front porch and rocking, and she's listening to like old country music, and just life is just simpler and it's calm. I really feel that that's a key message for you. And this is the energy of counsel, and it says group, meeting, advisors. And I feel like the gift of Virgo season for you is not only your ability, because you can't separate yourself from the other. Okay, and this is part of the philosophy of the age of Aquarius that we're now moving, and I feel that we're in that age now. And this is like a 2100 year cycle. It's pretty big if you're on the planet right now. Thus all the reason we see the upset happening on the planet. And so part of the age of Aquarius is it's about the other. There's a huge humanitarian aspect. And as I do well by myself and I seek to help others, so too do they help me. It's a live and let live, and it's a give and let give as well. It's a partnership, okay? So I feel this with you for when I say counsel, and it says group, meeting, advisors. You can't separate yourself from others in your life. You are both part of their counsel and they are part of your counsel. And so during Virgo season, a key aspect that could be showing up for you is that as you are going through things of, scurrying around and trying to tidy this up or perfect that or get this cleaned up over here, which are all Virgo aspects, you serve as a counselor to others as you do that. And I want you to recognize that. And what easily comes next is lead by example. You need to realize that people, and those of you with children, this is especially true, that you are a powerful example to other people and you influence them. And whether that certainly can be your children, but other people in your life too. We're always, what we don't realize is that we're picking up on leads from other people and getting ideas for ourselves on a continual basis. And just energetically, and you don't have to know about the age of Aquarius at all, but the energetics of the planet and the way that humans are going to be wired going forward, and we're getting an infusion of it now, is that we're becoming more aware of each other and we're becoming aware of different perspectives and our ability to take on some of those perspectives when we hear them and go, I kind of like that. I might try that on for a little while and see how it works for me. And then you might perfect it to a place that makes it even more amazing for your experience. And then somebody else takes that and they say, wow, that's working really well for her. Maybe I'll try that out. And then they try it and they realize, oh, it does work, except I might go in this direction with it. This is the beauty of the age of Aquarius. It's about an individual approach, but using each other as our own counsel. Okay? And look at all the animals in this deck. There's many, many perspectives. And that's the other piece of my message, I think, for you, this beauty of Virgo season, is really take pleasure in soaking up as many different perspectives. And I'm being shown the horse of a different color from the Wizard of Oz. The horse comes through and keeps changing color. Really pay attention, especially to people who are a horse of a different color. They have a message for you. They have an important perspective that can be like a golden key for you, actually. We are each other's counsel, and you are also counsel to other people. I just feel like I want to make you aware of this very tight interconnectedness, that you don't fly alone. And the age of Aquarius is not about people flying on their own. At the end of the day, Aquarius is about humanitarianism. It is about helping one another to get to a better place, to get to a more evolved place, which is involved with your card because it carries that 9 energy. This is the ending of a cycle. You're coming to a new realization, a new culmination point, so that a new cycle can begin. And so just watch over the course of this time in Virgo. Can you see yourself both as counselor and part of that other people are your counsel? We're advising each other all the time without blatantly advising each other. So lead by example. Let your integrity take the lead. Understand that people are watching you. People are picking up on your cues. And if we all are working to the top of our game, if we all are bringing integrity to our days, day in, day out, it doesn't matter how you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually feel, you still bring it. You still bring it because everyone is watching you. And I say that not to intimidate you, I say that to inspire you. And to know it is a two-way street. Energy is working 2 ways. You're also picking up on them. And I want you to be looking for kind of that horse of a different color that's going to hand you a golden key of a perspective that could change everything for you. You just never know when that insight is going to come through. And most often it comes through other people in our lives. It's the way we learn best here on the planet. Okay? There we go, everybody. There are the gifts of Virgo. So I hope that's helpful to you, and I will plan to see you next week. Bye-bye for now.